In this video, we'll focus on element templates for terrain elements. In a previous video, we imported some element templates, and we see the terrain ones here. I've got the existing boundary selected, and that has general settings telling it what level, color, weight, style to use for this element. Now, if we choose from the element templates level pick list here, we can scroll down and choose that we want to put this on the terrain existing level, and the rest we'll leave it by level. And then we can go down and set other settings. Now there's calculated features and source features. Source features are things like break lines, holes, voids, spots, and under the source feature display here, we tell them which ones we want to show on the screen. Like, there might be all of these different types of features in the terrain, but we want to say we only want to display, in this case, boundary, because we've got the existing boundary element template selected. Okay? Now, if we had another one selected, we might see that the break lines were displayed or something like that. There's also display settings for calculated features. The calculated features are things like contours, triangles, voids. They update as we add things here. So if we go in and add a break line, the triangles would automatically update, right? The contours would update, the vertices, all of these elements would update dynamically based on what it sees in the source features. And again, since we've got existing boundaries selected, all of these are turned off. So the only thing being displayed, even though all these other things might be in there, is the existing boundary. Now for the others, we might go in and turn on triangles or contours or what have you around there. Okay, so that controls what is displayed in the element template. The next thing we want to look at is how they're displayed. So if I go to the source feature settings and look at this, for those break lines we talked about, well, this is what level they would go on. So we could go in and update this, change the level for the break line, go down to the terrain levels again, and there should be a level in here for terrain existing break line, and we would do the same thing for boundary. Go to terrain, existing boundary, and then we would just go through all of these various settings, right? So islands, features, holes, all of those. And then we would go up to contours and do the same thing, or up to calculate feature settings and do the same thing. So here you can see contours. We've got contours minor selected. So we'd go in and tell it what level we want our minor contours to be displayed at. Now there's other settings besides level in here. There's the intervals for the contour. There's the text. Do you want the text to be displayed for a minor contour? Probably not, so we'll have this set to no. If we go down to the major contours, we can set those values as well. So we'll choose the level for contour major. So terrain existing contour major. And then in this case, we do want to see the text displayed, right? So we can go in and say, yes, display text. And we want to display it every 200 units along there. In this case, it's feet, so every 200 feet around that. And then we can tell it what text style to use to display that text. So if we wanted to have the font defined, the size, and so forth, we would do that through a text style. All right, so we would go through and do those for all of these options, triangles, the flow arrows, low points, high points. There's lots of different source and calculated settings to define in there. To save time, I've updated all the levels, and now we'll look at how we can recreate these. So rather than having to update the levels in all of these, I would delete one. I would then copy the existing boundary, paste it, and then rename this to existing contours. And then I can come in and change just the display settings. So rather than having to change the level for all of these and all of the calculated settings, I've already got those in there because I copied it from one we had. All I need to do now is go to the calculated displays in this case and turn on contours. So now it's seeing the boundaries and the contours in this one. And I would repeat that process for all of the other element templates. I might then choose the proposed, update the levels, and then copy it the same method. And this completes the video on element templates for terrains.